Yo guys, what is going on? Finally got some BT6 Double Diamond gameplay for you guys, and I'm super excited because I've been anticipating this set for so long, ever since it was first announced and we kind of knew who the cover Digimon were going to be. That is right, as you could probably tell, I am playing a deck focused around Agumon, Bond of Courage, or a Bond of Bravery, whatever you want to call it. This guy is such an amazing and such a cool level 7, and I think he has a slight edge over Agumon, who is still a very, very powerful level 7, and I just love everything about this deck, and I'll get into that as we progress through this game. But I'm also playing a couple other tech cards in here. I'm playing cards from the new Gallantmon starter deck as well. I think they are very, very powerful red cards, and I can honestly see red decks start coming back into the meta. Well, not that they ever left. I don't want to say they ever left, but like maybe they're a little bit overshadowed by like Lord Nightmon in BT5. But with things like Nokia, who can play the new Agumon for free, the new Agumon has the effect where if you play a Tai Kamiya, you get to gain 1 memory, and then the new Tai from Last Evolution Kizuna is a super, super cool tamer card. I love that we finally have this guy in the game. So if you don't know what his effect is, basically while he's on the field, anytime you have an Agumon coming out of your breeding area, you get to draw 1 and gain a memory. So it's super nice. It's a very good card. And not only that, but if you have an Agumon on your field, you can Digivolve straight into Bond of Courage, like just by paying the 3 cost. And the fact that it's a 3 cost is absurd. Now that might seem crazy that you can just warp straight into a level 7 from a rookie, and it is. It definitely is very powerful. However, there are some caveats to that. So Tai also says if you do that, you have to trash the top 2 cards of your security, and if your security is 1 or more, that Digimon dies at the end of the turn. So it's a very, very like, it's like a comeback card, honestly, and you can use it in a variety of situations, but I think it's best saved for the end of the game where you don't really have to worry about security, or maybe if your security is 1 or lower, then you don't care, then you won't die, and, you know, stuff like that. So just lots of things to think about, but I'm just loving the new support cards for Bond of Courage. He's just such a cool card. Like, look how badass he looks, man. And anyways, I've been kind of overshadowing my opponent's deck, who's also playing the cool deck, by the way. He's playing a Myotismon deck with like some twist into it. I think he was maybe playing Zwart as well. I can see how the Zwart combo would kind of work really well, because you can get Myotismon out really free, and then you get to go Zwart and maybe bring back an Arukenimon or something, then set up for the next turn, and it could be really cool. But I'm also playing, as I mentioned, I'm playing Nokia to be able to reduce the cost of all your Greymons. This is basically a Greymon Agumon deck, even though I'm not playing like the BT5 Omnimon, or really Omnimon at all, just because, you know, I don't think you need it with the other, you know, level 7 in this deck. But anyways, I'm playing lots of Greymons and lots of destruction cards, because like I mentioned, the new cards from the Gallantmon starter deck, like the new Digimon, who whenever you destroy a Digimon on your opponent's side of the field, that Digimon gains 2,000, and then there's also new Growlmon, who I'm not playing, but he is a very good addition. It's an inherited where if you kill something, gain a memory, basically getting advantage off of popping your opponent's Digimon. And the War Growlmon I'm playing, that you can see in my hand, has the ability where if a Digimon on your opponent's side is deleted, you get to get security attack +1. So it's just super powerful. So you'll see I brought out that Agumon, and then I do have the Tai, so I gain a memory drew card. I could straight up go Bond of Courage here, and then take out basically 3 cards of his security, because Bond of Courage has an amazing, amazing effect. So he's, when attacking, if you do have a tamer on the field, you get to delete one of your opponent's 13,000 DP or lower, which is very powerful. That encompasses basically all level 6s, even the higher level 6s like Nidhoggmon and Blastmon. And then his other effect is once per turn, if something, if you delete one of your opponent's Digimon by a card effect, you trash the top card of their security. So that's just an absolutely crazy effect. It combos with all the other support cards I was talking about. And then I'm also playing the BT5 War Greymon, who is situationally kind of good, but I like him because he synergizes with the deck, since you know, I just got to blow up a blocker there. But then he also has that inherited effect for level 6, which is pretty rare. Like, I'm pretty sure only him and the Randomon are like red level 6s with inherited, and you're obviously trying to turbo into your level 7, so that's really cool. So then I'm also playing a bunch of other deletion cards like Gaia Force and stuff that just helps you trash your opponent's security, because by himself, Bond of Courage can take out like 3 security cards, because you're attacking, you delete something, trash top card their security, your attack goes through, and then you oftentimes you might check 2 security, because the BT6 Agumon has the effect where if this Digimon is Bond of Courage, you get to get security attack +1. So it's just lots of crazy shenanigans going on. So I honestly think this could, now this is a very preliminary like portion of the deck, so you know, just be aware of that. But I think this deck is pretty solid for what it is. Hopefully we'll see as BT6 continues to get out, we'll get more and more like support cards, but we'll see. So anyways, I do have the War Greymon on the field and then the Bond of Courage in my hand. I also have double Gaia Force, and since he has Malamyotismon out, I probably should Gaia Force it. And now I will go Greymon first, and that's the BT5 Greymon. That's the Greymon where if you Digivolve him on an Agumon, you get to gain a memory, and then Nokia also reduces that cost by 1, so you basically get him for free, which is really, really nice. And not only that, but you're playing 12 Agumons in this deck, 12 or 13 or something, like basically every rookie's Agumons, so you'll often activate her on play effect and then just get pluses off of that, because then I'm playing the Searcher Agumon. It's just lots of shenanigans. So I'm going to Gaia Force, and then my I also did attack there, and the sweet thing is that the BT5 Greymon has the inherited effect where if this Digimon is Greymon or Omnimon, it gets 2000 DP. So my War Greymon is actually 13k right there, hence why it didn't die. My opponent is going to try to come back a little bit, but as you can see, I'm able to control the pace of this game so well. So he's just going to hard play the Mummymon for 7, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he does have the Malamyotismon in trash. But yeah, I think the speed of this deck, and then especially when you look at a card like Tai, and then you look at a card like Bond of Courage where I can just warp straight into it, the fact that it's a 3 cost to warp is so good. We've seen other cards that let you do that, like Beelzemon, BT, what is it, BT2, yeah, Beelzemon, the only Beelzemon in the game. You guys know which one I'm talking about. You get to warp for Immon for 4, and then the new All Fours Vidramon also lets you warp, or I guess that's Vmon's effect, right? If your opponent has a 6 or higher, you get to warp for 4, but Bond of Courage is a 3. So you'll see there, I'm just going to straight up end the game by giving up 2 of my security cards. I don't care. He's going to die at the end of the turn. I literally don't care. I just took out all security cards in attack for game, got rid of his blocker. So you'll see that was just an absolutely crazy amount of damage. So game 2, I'm actually going to be switching it up, playing against a green deck, and green has lots of new cards. When we got the promos, we got the new Grand Agumon, we got the new Palmon, we also have cards like Chaosmon. Chaosmon and Chaosmon Valderarm are still very, very powerful cards. Even against a deck like this can still be very detrimental. And you'll see my opening hand is pretty solid. Now, what would be nice here is, of course, an ultimate, so I'm going to play the Agumon from my hand. Unfortunately, just getting a Greymon, but that will let me still, you know, draw some cards. I'm also playing Rise Greymon in here because it lets you just unload your hand. You're playing lots of Red Tamers, so you're playing Tai, and Tai is just an amazing card. And there's the other Tai. I'm also playing the Security Attack +1 BT1 Tai. So so then just lots of options there. Plus the -2000 DP is good, and I'm just really trying to control the board with my on deletion effect. So then my opponent is going to, you know, he's got the Ken set up. He brings out the Goblymon. And then we are going to see a Blossomon played from the hand for a cost of 7, putting me up to 4. Now my hand is a little bit awkward, especially because I don't have an ultimate, so I'm thinking I could play Tai and then play Agumon, but then I won't have a rookie for next turn. And then I was also debating, I was like, I could Gaia Force him, because he did actually just hard play the Blossomon, so that wouldn't be negging myself too badly. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Tai, guarantee me 3 memory for the following turn, so hopefully I'll be able to draw into something I need, and then I'm just going to Gaia Force his Blossomon. I'm getting a feeling that somehow he doesn't have any level 4s in hand, so we are also going to see that Palmon, that's the promo Palmon, and then the Yokomon as well, and both these cards have Digiburst effects. Well, they themselves don't. I should say they have effects that trigger off of Digiburst that are really cool. Palmon gives that Digimon who, you know, detached it for Digiburst jamming, and then Yokomon gives extra 2000. So if you have something like Grand Agumon with the Digiburst 2 that gains security attack +1 every single time you activate that Digiburst, you have a potential 3 security security checker with the jamming, and then maybe you have some other shenanigans in there. If you have like a Agumon, you could check another card with that. So I did finally draw into an ultimate. I drew into the War Growlmon there, and now I've got a clear shot from War Growlmon. I've got Victory Greymon, and War Greymon won't really do anything because it only kills blockers, but Victory Greymon, as much as it's not a very good idea to just, you know, pay for it to kill a rookie. However, considering I do have Bond of Courage in my hand, I'm thinking for the following turn, I'll just be able to get rid of his Grand Agumon, and I don't even care if I am negging myself a little bit. Now, I was debating here if I really wanted to go Victory Greymon, because it's possible that my opponent is playing Chaosmon. I haven't seen it, but I mean, he is playing a green deck, you know, post BT4, so I would imagine he's probably running Chaosmon. So I ran the risk of running into that here, right, giving him the opportunity. He could, you know, swing security with the Grand Agumon and then go Chaosmon, unsuspend it, attack over my Victory Greymon, or, you know, just go Valderon and blow it up. So I was willing to take that risk, though, as you'll see here in a little bit. So he's going to attack with the, what's it called, the Grand Agumon, and then play the Agumon level 3 from the Agumon level 5's, rest in peace, effect from his hand. So he's got 3 Digimon on field, and then we are going to see a hard play Lilamon, which, to be fair, Lilamon still does have a very solid inherited effect, where as long as you have a green tamer on field, you can just suspend something. But now that I have 4 memory to work with, I've got Bond of Courage in my hand, I'm just going to Digivolve on up into Agumon's final form. And then I can just delete his stuff, because 13,000 is such a huge threshold. Grand Agumon's only 11,000. So I'm just going to go into Bond of Courage, swing over the Grand Agumon because it's rested, and then I'm going to delete the Lilamon with his ability whenever attacking, because I do have a tamer. And it's actually not even just a red tamer, it's any tamer. So you could be playing the white tamers, or, you know, loads of other stuff. So then I'm actually also going to swing over the Agumon, because funny enough, the Digimon gives my Agumon 2,000 extra damage, or extra DP. That didn't, like, it wasn't the most necessary thing, because I was able to just Digivolve into Greymon anyways for 1. So I could have Digivolved first and then attack, but either way it works. And then I'm finally just going to go into Rise Greymon for 3. And unfortunately, no red tamer's hand. I already paid the price for a hard playing tie, but it was worth it. And now I do want to point something out. We did actually miss the trigger for Bond of Courage's effect when I deleted his Digimon last turn. I should have also trashed the security card. We're going to catch that in just a second. But so my opponent is going to, yep, there we go. So we're going to trash top card of his security. And my opponent, if he does draw a level 4, the worst thing he could do is like level 4 Digizorption. Agumon would actually be pretty devastating. That would actually just clear my whole field. So that's about the only out he could do, and maybe it wasn't too smart of me to be playing like this, but I did know, like, I mean, I didn't know he wasn't playing it, but like, he's obviously playing like a Digiburst focused deck, so my guess was he's playing like Grand Agumon, like Hercules Kabuterimon, or something like that. So anyways, we are just going to see a Palmon played for 3. That Palmon is a very interesting effect, works very well with Reflatiamon, where you can just attach it to anything whenever it's deleted. But at this point, I don't think my opponent will be able to do anything, because I will be able to, yeah, he's just going to pass, so I'm going to unsuspend, and then I will be able to take out 2 security cards, 3 actually, with the Bond of Courage, because I'm going to get the War Growlmon's inherited effect as well, and with 5 swings, or 5 potential checks, and actually 6 here, because I got the War Greymon with 4 materials, so then I'm just going to be able to delete everything. I also should get the Rise Greymon's effect when I attack with the other War Greymon anyway, so that's going to be it, guys. That was a crazy, crazy match. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm having a lot of fun playing these new BT6 cards, and expect lots of more videos like this. So I almost forgot to include the deck list, guys. So here's the actual list. If you want to go ahead and test this out on tabletop, go ahead. So just a pretty standard, well, I say standard, but this is the kind of deck hasn't really been built yet. But anyways, just playing a bunch of Agumons, the typical suspects here when it comes to the champions. You know, the plus memory Greymon, the security tech plus 1. Got to play your blockers as well. Rise Greymon to spam out your ties as much as possible. Like I mentioned, the new War Growlmon, and then testing out just a bunch of Greymons, and then of course the Bond of Courage to pair with those, give them, you know, inherited effects from the War Greymon, and then just plus off of their destruction effects. And then you also have cards like Terra Force, and then of course I'm playing the Tamer package with both Tai Kamiyas and Nokia Shiramine. to round off the card. So that's going to be the video, guys. And I also want to say a big shout out to Orange Swim. Maybe you guys don't know who that is, but he is the one who actually runs the DigimonCard.dev. So I do want to just say a big shout out to him and all the people working on the site, because they make the proxies super fast, so people like me and you guys can test out and play the game. So anyways, guys, that's going to be the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.